Are you ready for a fresh monthly energy report? I can't believe we're already at the month of October in the year 2023, but here we are. So let's go ahead and do this. Every month, I summarize for business owners. These readings are exclusively for entrepreneurs. I summarize the top 5 themes that come through me in all my channeled spaces so that we can find some common direction together because we are experiencing energy on a collective level as well as an individual level. Remember that these readings are exclusive to entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship. So if you're looking for relationship readings, this is probably not going to be the space for you. However, there are so many amazing readers out there, and you can find just the right person for you over on YouTube. If you need help finding one, you can always drop me a comment on one of these videos, and I will be happy to give you a recommendation. I'm just going to tell you all right now that space for reflection is really huge this month. The process of self-reflection is going to help you so much when it comes to your marketing and your branding efforts in your business. So with that, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to ask you to do is look below this video and smash that subscribe button and click the thumbs up like as well on the video. Those 2 simple actions help me keep content on this channel running in a number of ways. It tells me what you would like more of so that I can keep bringing it to you, and it also helps other people continue to find the content, which allows us to do more and more of this kind of stuff here on my channel. My invitation on all of the monthly energy updates is to share it with a friend. A lot of times in our woo-woo spaces in business, there's usually like that one friend that we talk with, and a lot of times they need a lot of the same things that you need. So go ahead and share this video with them so that you guys can talk about it together and see where you're feeling a lot of the same themes and how you can support each other throughout the month of October. If you really like this video, you are going to love my weekly newsletter. I encourage you to go to the show notes below this video. The link right at the top is the one to subscribe to my weekly newsletter. It's free, and I include a weekly Tarot Akashic reading just for business owners every single week in that newsletter. So go ahead and subscribe. It takes less than 30 seconds, and then let's get into our themes. Theme number 1, self-reflection is huge this month. We're just going to start with that, and then we're going to go from there. I'm seeing self-reflection coming at people in all different ways, different angles, whether it's a sudden realization about how you show up in the world and realizing, wow, I sound like that, or whether it's something from the past coming back, like you hear the way you used to sound on a video or on an audio or in some kind of an offer space, and then you can realize just how far you've come, where you've come from, and where you are today. What is so important about this reflection piece is that it's reflecting back to us the evolution of our internal ethics that we run our businesses on. And this thing about ethics is going to become incredibly important in the coming year. The way this appears to me when I'm in the channeling space, it's kind of like the collective energy of the world. If it was a singular organism, it's sort of like it's opening up its eyes in a fresh way. Like it's been asleep, it's been taking a nap, maybe it had blinders on, however that feels more resonant to you, but the eyes are opening and we are seeing things and feeling things and we are intuiting things in a totally different way now. You can kind of see this happening in real world actions and consequences that are happening in our business news and in our regular news cycles. And what happens is the tolerance for unethical behavior or for shady practices is becoming more and more apparent more quickly, and people have a much lower tolerance level for it. Now, that doesn't mean that you are operating your business in an unethical way. At least I hope not. But if you're feeling anything where you're like, that just doesn't feel quite in alignment, it doesn't actually match my values, those are the things that are being reflected back to you. So you can update the language that you use in your marketing efforts so that you can update how you talk with potential clients and current clients. And you can do it in a way that meets the needs both for you as the business owner and also for your audience. Theme number 2 is to consciously and actively carve out space and time for yourself so that you can do some of this inner work. What we are doing is we are processing our emotions. They matter. Emotions matter in business. And in the traditional business systems, they tend to get kind of segmented off to the side. And we don't want to keep doing that. The world doesn't have tolerance for that anymore. Not only that, but we are a languaged species. Any of you who've been listening to the podcast, you know that I talk about we are a languaged species in the intro to every single episode. You can catch those episodes here on my YouTube channel if you want to hear how I say that, so that you can also find words for your own audience. What this means as a languaged species is that at some point you have to take what you're feeling and also what you're thinking and articulate it back out into words that are spoken and that other people can hear from you. It's not the same when you're only feeling it or you're only thinking it in your internal dialogue. We have to be able to get it back out through the throat chakra, through our mouths, and be able to articulate that out into a space. The thing that is showing up stronger and stronger is how much, as business owners, we don't get the really big breakthroughs without mastering the skill. It is a skill that has to be developed and mastered. And so any skill requires practice, which means we have to actually do it and try it. And it's going to be imperfect and not as good early on as it is later when you have more experience. How this translates on a very practical level is that as you get better at articulating and finding the real words that you want to use that are in alignment with you, that are in alignment with your audience, it allows your audience to feel magnetized towards you. So when we talk about developing that magnetic quality, this is actually where it comes from. The third thing is that community is rising in importance. We have seen this peopling thing come up since springtime, and here is sort of where it starts to mature into its final form. The question really is, who are your real people and where are they? And how do you interact with them? And how do you make contact with them? So we know in business, you can't do anything alone. Nobody is an island or a silo in business. Or if you are, you don't last very long. The truth is, as a CEO, we need support in multiple ways. But in this month's theme, the way it's coming through is on the other side of the coin, which is community that supports you and gives you that sense of belonging. The image that has come through in my channeling space around this third theme is sort of like we're all at a train station. So collectively, we've all landed at this train station. It's really big. If you've ever been to Europe, like I love London. London's my favorite city. And when you're in a really big station like King's Cross, you'll be in a station that has multiple platforms and multiple areas. And there's multiple trains coming in and departing at all times of the day. We are being asked spiritually, which train are you meant to board next? Who is on this train with you? And really importantly, this is where all the action taking comes into play. Are you choosing the train that you want to ride, or are you sitting in a seat somewhere waiting for somebody to come and tell you, here's your travel plans, here's the destination, and here's where you go? Because the truth is that person's not coming. That person who's supposed to tell you that is you. And you find that out by getting up out of your seat. You'll remember that this theme of standing up out of your seat also came up in the September energy report. It showed up again in October. So you're going to stand up out of your seat and you're going to walk around this amazing train station and start interacting with other passengers and travelers, and you're going to go look at the different platforms, and you're going to look at the train schedules, and you're going to learn about the destinations and where you're going and start making decisions for yourself on which train is the best one for you to board next. Now, this is where we get into the fourth theme of the month, which is that the boldest actions that we do right now are the quiet actions. So you can take that analogy of being in the train station and you're researching the train schedules and you're looking at the destinations and you're talking with some passengers, you're kind of figuring out, okay, which platform do I need to go to? Which train do I need to get on? Why am I going to that destination? And those are quiet self-reflection activities that you do for yourself. The fourth theme this month is encouraging you to take that quiet time to get crystal clear in your focus as a CEO. We're getting crystal clear focus in the heart space as well as in our thinking spaces. Not only is this energetically hella more efficient for you to do. But it also sets you up beautifully for this energetic expansion that I keep seeing happening, almost like a dawning of new energy around the Lunar New Year, which happens in the first quarter in 2024 after the new year. And so by now you can kind of see how the first three themes show up in this culmination point here in the fourth theme, which now leads us into our fifth theme. Our fifth and final theme for the month of October is that it's not about being perfect. It's about experiencing things that you think and having them operate in real life and feeling what it's like to experience that in real time, in real life, on your real life schedule. So like this means you might go through an experience kind of like you're boarding a train and you think it's the right train, and then you get on that train and you're like, maybe not. And that is totally okay. So great. Get off the train, go pick another one. Or you might think that you're getting really, really focused, but you develop some self-awareness through some real world activities that are happening that are able to give you the self-awareness and that reflection back to you. And you discover like, gee, I think I'm slipping into old energetic patterns. I don't like how this feels anymore. It's like, great, that is totally normal. That happens all the time. You wouldn't know that you had that growth moment without that real life experience. So now we can make decisions on who we're going to spend time with and how we're going to do our actions. And that way we don't end up repeating the old patterns again and again, like we're stuck on a hamster wheel. All of these things harken back to the question, can you carve out a moment to take a beat, to take a breath, to take just a moment to rest in just a moment of your thoughts and in your actions and in your words so that you can regain the focus that you need. It's kind of like hitting a reset point. The very practical example that came through for this was a pretty common challenge framework where you try to be consistent with something for 30 days, like an action for 30 days. And if you miss a day, you have to start the clock over again at day one. And that's the feeling that we have this month, where it's like, we're going to try a challenge. We're going to do our best. We're going to try to hit these themes on every single day. And if you miss a day and you're like, oh no, like I kind of screwed up there. It's like, it's okay. That's totally normal. This is how we get better at being more consistent. This is how we get better at doing things. We're developing self-awareness patterns. And then we're going to start the clock over again at day one, and we're going to keep moving forward from there. And you're just going to see how you do without the self-judgment, with a lot of patience and love for yourself. And it's how we're going to get comfortable taking the actions that aren't performative, but are actually based in our authenticity and our ethics in the way that we want to run our businesses moving forward. So we're learning by doing here. We're not theorizing or thinking. We are actually taking actions and doing things and finding real words that other people can hear and that we can actually say the things that we mean in a way that we want to be heard. If you tuned in for the September energy report last month, you were going to notice how much October's energy report seems like it was teed right up to take off. And that is not an accident. I don't batch these recordings. I don't batch my channeling. I literally channel the week before the next month begins. And this is the way the energy keeps showing up. And I think it's fascinating. As a channeler, I'm totally fascinated by it. And as a business owner, I also find it's not a coincidence. Just remember that everything is a journey, and that the best thing you can do is stay in your lane and pay attention to driving your own car this month. If you're really concerned about everybody else's car and how they're driving it, you're not going to pay attention to your own, and you're going to find yourself sliding off into a ditch somewhere. So just make sure that you stay in your lane and pay attention to your keys and your steering wheel. Listen, if you can do that this month, you are way ahead of so many other people out there, and you're going to find that you have an awareness point that a lot of other people don't have. You're going to start showing up as a leader in your field, and it's going to feel really, really amazing. I would love it if you would drop a comment on this video and tell me, how are these themes showing up for you this month? Or maybe you've already experienced some of them, or maybe they feel delayed, like you find this video the following month and you notice that, oh, now I feel like these things are really starting to show up for me. Everybody's on different timelines. So whenever you find these energy reports on YouTube, mine or anybody else's, you have to remember that your timing is unique for you and it is entirely perfect for you. And so sometimes some of us are really early on things, sometimes some of us are late on things, and sometimes some of us are just squarely in the middle of when these types of messages get delivered. There's really no right or wrong way to it. It's just whatever timing that you're on. But I would love to know if you want to drop a comment. And before we leave this month, remember to click that subscribe button below this video and click the thumbs up like button, because those two simple small actions really help me keep this content going. It's going to help other people like you find it. It's a way of finding your community as well. So please take those simple actions. I would be so appreciative. And don't forget to share it with your biz buddy, who's also your woo-woo buddy. If you are hungry for a lot more of this, remember that you can go to the show notes below this video, click the link inside the show notes, and subscribe to my weekly newsletter. It comes out every Saturday. It's totally free, and there is a Tarot Akashic reading in there every single week just for being a business owner. We don't do relationship readings in there. We really focus on what's going on in our businesses so that you can start the following week on a really strong footing. And if you really love that, there will be an option in there where you can also subscribe to the $9 a month weekly newsletter that has extended readings for your business. The link is also in the show notes, and you can always ask me questions here in the comments if you have them. All right, y'all, I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful month of October. Remember to be sensible, be woo, and always be you.